the first video of the farrowing facilities. Hi again, now we are in the farrowing facilities. We introduce ourselves 4 or 5 days before the farrow, okay? I think it's the same in all the farms around the world. We try a right transition between the gestation feed to the farrowing feed, okay? And we are working with these feeders in this farm, with the gestal feeders, and we introduce the number of sows. I don't know if you can see here currently, okay? If there is because we are in winter now. This is the period of time every feed, small feed intake, and these sows we are working to achieve the 100% of feed consumption, okay? You can see here that all our sows are with this feeder, and with this feeder we have increased the feed intake in more than 400 grams. We have increased the weight of our weaning piglets in 200 grams, and we have increased our number of total board in the next cycles. Here in Spain we have a lot of feeders like this. This is gestal, but we have several brands of these feeders, and the target of these feeders is always the same. Increase the feed intake, increase the weight of the weaning piglets. That is very, very important when we are talking about hyperprolific sows, and decrease the interval from weaning to estrus, and increase the number of total board in the next cycles. This is the first video of the farrowing area, the farrowing facilities, the lactation period, and now I want to show you how we are working around the farrowing day. It's the day that I am recording the video, and this mobile phone never has been in other farm, okay? This is only small points to talk about biosecurity, of course, because we haven't time to talk about biosecurity with all the things that we can observe in a farm, okay? And now I want to show you how we are working in the farrowing facilities. As I said to you, we are working with these feeders that are important for us because you have several brands in the market to work with these systems to increase the performance of our animals in the farrowing facilities. Here you can see the sows. Our sows are very quiet in the farrowing facilities. We are in the farrowing day. Monday is not the most important day when we are talking about farrows in this farm, because we are winning our sows on Sunday, and the main percentage of our farrows are always Tuesday and Wednesday. You can see here the quality of our piglets. We are working very hard in the quality because we are up to 20 total worms, and it's the reason for what we increase the feed consumption of our sows in the last month of gestation, not to increase the weight of our animals, but increase the vitality of the newborn piglets and increase the quality of the sow after the farrows, to avoid our sows entering catabolism after the farrow, because if it's happened, we have a better performance, a worse colostrum production, a worse milk production during the lactation period, and we of course we have more mortality, more pre-weaning mortality, and worse consequence in the next cycles of the sows. Here you can see, this is the card of our sows. I want to show you a right card, okay? You can see here the piglets. The heat system for the piglets is here in front of the feet of the sows, and here you can see that we are working in the split mulching. We isolate the biggest one, okay, during 1 or 1.5 hours, and the smaller ones stay with the sow all the time to increase the colostrum production, to try to achieve a right colostrum intake for every piglet of the litter. Okay, for example, this is the first farrow of this gill. We are in 20 total worm. Here you can see more sows. This is other gill. You can see here 22, 19 born alive and 1 still born. And here I think it's other gill too. Yes, it's other gill with 16 total born. Now you can see here the different cars. In the first column, you can see the number of the cycle, the date of the first artificial insemination, the mate, the date of the farrow, the number of born alive, the number of stillborns, and the piglets we introduce or we take off, the winning age, the winning date, and the number of winning piglets per this house in every farrow. Okay. Here you can see other sows working with the split nursing. The biggest one are isolated with this very easy and handmade system. And you can see here the smaller ones, okay? To try to equip the right colostrum intake, because we never move the piglets in the first 24 hours, because it's the crucial, the most important period, and the piglets must stay with their own mother to increase the colostrum intake before the movements, because if you remember, the passive immunity that the piglets has in the first 48 hours is related with the active immunity the piglets develop after the weaning period. This is the third video of the farrowing facilities. Okay, now we are in the second week of lactation period. And I want to show you the quality of the piglets, and I want to show you the number of total birds we have in the farm. More or less, if you remember the previous video, in this column with NP, we are in the number of total birds, and the column with N, we are in the stillborns. Okay, the number of total birds of this house is 22. And here you can see that, at least in our management, after the split nursing and after the 24 hours period before move any piglets, okay, we introduce 60 piglets per sow, and the other piglets, the extra piglets, the big piglets after this period, we move to nursery sows, okay? But here you can see the number of total born alive, in this case, because we haven't stillborns here, but it's the same number, the number of born alive and the number of total born, because the number of stillborns is 0, okay? But you can see here the quality of our piglets, okay? 20 total born. More piglets here, and you can see with a good quality. One of the most important things we have done in the last years is work without neonatal diarrhea. We are working very hard in the biosecurity measures. We are working very hard in the cleaning and disinfection protocols. We clean our farrowing facilities with hot water to increase the efficacy of our cleaning and disinfectant protocols, and it's very important for us. We are working with a very strict vaccine programs against neonatal diarrhea, and it's key to increase our productivity. And one of the most important things is the number, of course, but for us, at least here with the zinc oxide banned and antibiotic reduction, the most important at this moment is the quality. And this farm is key in our system, because we are winning 39.2 piglets per sow per year, but we have a very good quality, and we have a low percentage of mortality in the nursery and in the growing facilities. And it's the most important thing, at least for me, the number, but this number is followed by a high quality. And now, this is the third video of the farrowing facilities, okay? And now we are in the third week of lactation, okay? You can see here the date of the farrow 3 weeks ago, okay? Because we are in the 28th of February, okay? With 20 days of life. You can see here the piglets, okay? If we are able, we try to win the biggest number, the highest number of piglets is possible with their own mother after 24 hours when we are doing the cross fostering. But this is the quality of our piglets, because as I said to you, for us it's very important the feed intake of the sows during this period. Okay, it's very important to achieve the best performance of our sows and to increase the milk production, because the weaning weight is very important for us to increase the performance of our animals in the side 2 nursery facilities and the side 3 the finishing facilities. Okay, here you can see, okay, the efficacy of our sows. Okay, and the quality of our piglets. But remember that these piglets must stay here 1 week more, because now we are less than 20 days and we always wean our piglets with 28 days of lactation. And in this week our piglets are able to increase the weight in more than 1 kilo, and in winter close to 1.5 kilos. And this is the reason for what the quality of our weaning piglets is very good, and we haven't very important problems in the nursery facilities. Okay, the previous video was the 4th of the farrowing facilities, but I said that was the 3rd. Okay, and remember that was the 4th, and are the piglets with 3 weeks of age. Okay, now this is the 5th video of the farrowing facility and is the last video of this part. Okay, now I start with this part of the video. Okay, now I am in the last part of the farrowing facilities, and I want to show you a special management we are doing with our nursery sows. We are working to introduce the bigger piglets after 24 hours with sows, but we need 3 teats. We need to work with nursery sows. We are moving piglets, and this is the reason for what we have 3 special rooms. And in these special rooms we introduce the piglets with 21 days of age, the biggest one, and we introduce here to use these nursery sows. Here we introduce the piglets during the week, and these piglets stay here during 1 week. Okay, and you can see the system to feed these animals with a special transition feeders, and in this machine we mix the water and the feed, and it's very easy to feed our animals with these systems, because we use an interval of time during 1 hour to feed our piglets. Okay, and here you can see this is the drinker with always water available. We will always have here as normal feeders, or at least the normal feeders we are using in Spain, with 5 feeders in the same big feeder. We are using this system too because it's very easy for the piglets feed with this system to start to feed, and this. And the most important of these facilities is the environmental conditions. These piglets, remember, that has 21 days of age, and we need a special condition when we are talking about heat. We need 30 degrees in the nest, okay, in the heat part for the piglets, and it's very important, the heat, because as I said to you, these piglets are younger than the rest. The piglets stay here 1 week, and we move with the other piglets of the same batch, and we introduce in the same day in the nursery facilities, and we move together. But these piglets stay here 1 week because we need these piglets wean to use these sows as nursery sows. And now, excuse me, but I come back here to the environmental condition, the environmental control here in the computer, okay? And you can see here that we have a temperature in the room of from 24.7 degrees to 25.8 degrees, and this is all the control, okay? Okay, and it's very important maintain these conditions, and the most important is the temperature of these piglets to avoid problems as the post-weaning diarrhea.